Welcome back to the APP Chicago Open presented by Lexus. We're here on Championship Court, men's pro double winner bracket final. Coming up next, 2 out of 3, J.W. Johnson and Dekel Barr, your 1 seed, taking on Dylan Frazier and Andre Daescu, your 2 seed. Dominic Catalano, and alongside me, Chad Edwards, joining me over from the boonies on CC2. He took an Uber, came on over.
No. I'm over in the main area. This is the boonies out here in the parking lot.
So we're on one end of the event complex to the other, but Chad will be with me the rest of the way. We got this match, and we got 2 bronze medal matches for you, so some good pickleball coming up. Derek Prince, your USA Pickleball certified referee, on the call. You got 4 players here, Chad, very familiar with each other's games. What's the key to victory for both teams?
Yeah, absolutely. And Frazier and Daescu tested a little bit by Yates and Hewitt, getting pushed to 3. Daescu very active with the Ernies in that one. We'll see Barr doing the same on the other side. But it's going to be whoever chooses the right ball to speed up. We saw Dekel choose that one, sitting right in front of him, speeding it up into Daescu's chest. Probably going to see quite a bit of that as we go through this match.
Wow.
I think the wind helped blow that one down a little bit. Daescu thinking that was going to go way out, landed right on the line and skipped. Wind's definitely picked up. It's a little chilly right now, actually.
Yeah. Oh, nice dink there from cross court from Daescu, putting the pressure on J.W. Johnson a little bit right there.
Yeah, Daescu will stay in that cross-court dink for quite a while. Definitely something that he's worked on.
Oh, wow. He found the hole between J.W. Johnson's legs right there.
Wasn't much of a hole.
No. Watch this live look into the replay. Goes right between Johnson's legs. Look at that work from Boxcar Productions on those live look-ins, so we don't miss a second of live play.
So Johnson missing a couple of balls into the net. Talked about Daescu and Barr a little bit as far as how active they are with movement. Frazier has some of the fastest hands, not as much power, but definitely fast hands, quick hands. And then Johnson's just got that all-around game.
Nice reset from Daescu. Oh, wow, and trying to light up Dekel Barr is Daescu, and Barr having none of it on the counter, Chad.
Yeah, that's a bit of an uphill battle right there. If Barr is dialed in, he's got some of the most power from a short, compact swing. And as you saw right there, Daescu just trying to flick it up into the body. Barr missing that one wide off of the Daescu Ernie. Oh, that's actually a kitchen violation and a half. His whole foot was in the kitchen.
That's getting away with one.
Yeah, that's for sure.
2-2-1.
Just long on the return from Dekel Barr.
3-2-1.
Daescu and Frazier take a 1-point lead.
It's a good move by Daescu, just overcooking it a little bit. Potentially trying to go Barr's right shoulder and just missing.
it's finally Pickleball getting the ball down at the feet, right? These guys are hand battle, hip to hip. But then watch
2, 3, 1.
Pickleball finally
Yeah,
gets
just
it down.
below the knees. Even knee height nowadays isn't low enough with these hand battles and the defensive prowess that these guys have been working on.
Point.
Couple of back-to-back unforced errors, Barr missing into the net, and then Frazier missing into the net on the return.
Oh, Daescu, 1-2-3 combo right there.
Daescu is very dangerous when he gets in a rhythm. Long arm can reach in, take a lot of balls out of the air. Ooh.
I'm playing that all day. These guys let that ball go, and I'm like, that's gonna fall.
I don't think they let it go. I think they weren't expecting it to come back. I mean, Johnson's flick was a little high. Daescu unloaded on it.
I don't know if that ball's gonna land in or not, but Daescu wanted to put this ball away so bad.
I mean, yeah, put it away with a third. You're better off going ahead and taking that easier ball floating than potentially letting the wind bring that back down in. Round? No, just wide.
Oh, yeah, just missed it. But he cuts it a little bit here. So as he cuts this, it's going to come back. It's not going to hook in. It's going to actually fade away from the line.
Yeah, that's one you've got to get outside the ball and come around it to shape it back in. Coming inside the ball is going to keep that just running down the line. Frazier and Daescu off to a 6-3 lead pretty quickly.
A nice ball right there in the attack at Daescu, right at his right hip.
Here you go.
3, 6, 1.
Good fourth ball by Frazier. Barr trying to drive that deeper ball, sliding a little bit at the back of the court. Frazier didn't try to do too much with it, just kept that ball down.
Wow. I mean, he reached that.
He reached it. Would have been another foot fault. We saw left foot inside the kitchen. But he's going to keep moving like that, keep taking those chances for the Ernie. And it kind of takes away that down the line safety shot for Barr.
And good ball there from Johnson as he finds the left foot of Dylan Frazier.
Yeah, that was a better reach in
Right
to
foot.
start that one. Didn't overextend, so that ball stayed flatter. Ooh.
Wow, right off the shoulder.
That's a no call as it's pelting and going through your left shoulder, well, right shoulder right then. Frazier tried to get out of the way.
And nothing he can do. Not even an apology out of Johnson, his usual partner. And Barr trying to go inside out on that. And again, it's kind of what we were talking about with Daescu and the around the post. He tries to go inside out, but he's hooking that ball out of bounds instead of keeping it in.
Yeah, and Daescu baited him into hitting that ball. Just with one step toward the middle, he tried to go back behind him.
Well, and Chad, we were just at 6-3, and now it's 6-6. That's good pull, and again, you talked about it, Chad. Daescu's reach right there.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, he's doing a good job staying in that cross-court backhand dink. We saw it earlier. with him against Yates and Hewitt. And if that ball sits up just a little bit, he's going to reach in and flick it. JW trying to do the same thing there. But when you get overextended, obviously JW doesn't have the height that Daescu does, so he can't reach as far. You know, you get overextended and try to flick the wrist. Going to miss into the net often.
Oh, I don't know who hit it. Was it Daescu? Was it Frazier? Let's see if we can tell here on the slow-mo replay.
I think it was Daescu.
Dude, I thought it was Frazier.
Daescu's paddle was flat. Frazier's is Frazier had already flicked the wrist.
Well, either way, it forces a timeout from your 1 seed, J.W. Johnson and Deco Barr. Frazier and Daescu looking good here, Chad. This is the first I've seen of them today. Have you seen them over on CC2 at all today?
Yeah, I saw them over on CC2, the match prior to this against Yates and Hewitt. They got tested to 3, but this was the play style that they were successful with against Yates and Hewitt. Setting up that ball a little bit, staying in a longer dink rally, but taking those chances when the ball is sitting up just enough, not being over aggressive with the speed up, but if it's high enough coming up into the body, and Frazier's going to be there to clean up if Daescu can't do the 1-2 on that one, and that's what I saw earlier, and we're continuing that here with this one.
9-6-2.
Oh, good timeout here from Barr and Johnson as they hold Daescu and Frazier, but still have some work to do, down by 3 here in game number 1. Oh, wow. And Daescu couldn't get much on those first volleys, but he finally gets something on that last one.
No, just a little pancake volley on the forehand, keeping that ball back in. Got a little more on the backhand into Barr's right hip.
Unforced error there from Frazier off the net. Johnson and Barr within 2.
I think Johnson was expecting Dekel to drive that at Daescu. Frazier not having to do much, just putting a paddle on it to get it down and behind Johnson.
Nice finish right there from Dylan Frazier. I don't know, first time I've seen these two together, and I like this combo,
yeah,
Frazier and Daescu.
It's a good combo, and they're definitely playing with more intensity than Barr and Johnson. I mean, Johnson's usually fairly mellow, but I think for Barr, he has to get a little bit more movement, kind of getting caught flat-footed, and we just saw it there again.
Yeah, and Daescu and Frazier taking game 1 11-7. It seems as though it was a bigger margin. Was
that like a 6-minute game? Because it seemed really quickly.
That was quick. Frazier and Daescu striking first, taking game 1 by a score of 11-7. We'll have that second game for you right after this word from our sponsors here at the APP Chicago Open, presented by Lexus. Game number 2 of this men's pro double winner bracket final coming up right now as Dekel Barr here to serve to Dylan Frazier. Frazier and Daescu taking game 1 11-7. And nice win there for J.W. Johnson right off the bat.
Yeah, we saw the wind knock both of the early balls from JW down, but this is the end to kind of be a little bit more aggressive. That wind's going to help keep the ball in.
Oh, and Daescu getting a little handcuffed on the speed up from Barr.
Yeah, good spot from Barr. Daescu was looking to only attempt early. And then Barr shooting right at the right hip, handcuffing Daescu.
Point.
This is not the start Daescu and Frazier wanted here in this second game after it seemed like they had all the momentum.
Yeah, definitely can't have that missed return into the net. Second one for Dylan Frazier.
And nice pressure there from Daescu and a much needed side out.
0-3-1.
Good JW Johnson reaching in there, Chad, using his length.
Yeah, good reach in, drops the paddle head underneath, quick snap acceleration through.
A little long on that attack there from Daescu, and a quick side out here for Johnson and Barr, trying to add to this 3-point lead early in game number 2.
0-1.
Wow. I mean, that ball's an inch over the net. Daescu just creates the angle with the paddle and lets it hit it.
The fact that he did something with that ball, let alone just getting it back over and keeping it in play.
Yeah, but that proves that you don't have to do much with with the swing or with the paddle, especially when somebody's driving at you. Create the angle early, just like if you would throw a ball off a wall. It's gonna angle off. It's gonna ricochet. I think that's one of the big issues for amateurs is when they're playing against those teams that are hitting harder, they try to do too much. They feel like they got to hit hard back.
Right. Well, it's like if I was facing you and I'm hitting and you're pitching, if you don't come in at my head, which I know you like to do.
There, no guarantees on that one.
Yeah. A nice flick from JW Johnson, but what I'm saying is the harder you throw, the further it goes.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? All I have to do is make contact, and it's the same thing in pickleball. The harder your opponent hits, the less you have to do with it.
Yep. Good spot by Daescu.
I know you like going at someone's chin, Chad.
Yeah,
we've had that conversation.
Chin music, back him off the plate, and go outside.
Oh, and Johnson almost getting that cross court there, but Daescu off the tape. Need to get on the board here, do Frazier and Daescu, though.
0-4-1.
Oh, nice job of Deco Barr showing why placement over power is key. As he just slaps that down.
Yeah, and that was a better job by Barr. Barr started that fight rather than allowing Daescu to start it, where they got caught in game 1.
1-4-2.
Well, Frazier and Daescu get on the board.
4-1-1.
JW Johnson right off the tape past the paddle of Dylan Frazier, and they add to their lead.
5-1-1. Point.
That's Daescu overhitting right there, Chad.
Yeah, and it's a different tempo for Johnson and Barr in this one. They're starting that firefight sooner. They're being more aggressive. We're seeing a lot more drives. And then once you start getting behind and you start pressing, and that's a little bit where Daescu is trying to do too much with it. You know, you're trying to get out of that firefight, reset that one until you can get a little more extension. But Barr and Johnson definitely putting the pressure on early in this second game.
Yeah, and it's exactly it, Chad. They came out saying, okay, this is our game plan. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put that pressure on and not let them come at us. And it's worked so far, giving them a 6-1 lead here in game number 2. Winner bracket final. Winner is done for the day and is moving on to the gold medal match tomorrow.
15 seconds.
Loser will drop down and have to play that bronze medal match.
1 timeout remaining. Serving team, 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, this rhythm similar to the previous match I was talking about against Yates and Ruffa. Yates and Ruffa Hewitt came out trying to play the speed of Daescu and Frazier and got beaten. And then they stepped into game 2 and said, hey, we're just going to go for it.
Oh, and that catches the right arm of Deco Bar right there. Trying to get it down, but can't.
Yeah, he had the elbow up looking to do the counter punch down. And got him under the elbow.
Yeah, come on.
Nice ball there from Deco Bar.
That was like, swat the fly away from my face.
Once, twice. Just great hands by Bar. And right on cue.
Same guy.
Same guy. Same guy can't hit an easy drop shot. Who is this guy? But no, again, Bar makes it look so easy with those hands and just so quick. Oh, Daescu.
Yeah.
Oh, it tries it again. Can't get that little inside-out forehand.
We saw that earlier from Bar on similar thing. Daescu moved to try to go with the only, couldn't get it. Bar taking that easier ball, speeding up into the right hip. And then Bar goes and sails that one long.
That's a good spot right there as he splits the difference between Daescu and Frazier.
7-2-1.
No, got it.
Oh, and it clips J.W. Johnson's paddle right there as he's trying to get it down.
Go ahead.
Second serve. 7-2-2.
No, my God.
Side out. Richard point.
Little too flat of a paddle for Daescu. Face was open and pointing up, trying to flick that one.
2. Point.
This is all Johnson and Bar in game 2 here, Chad. They are cruising along up 9-2.
Timeout. Receiving team 9.
And right on cue, a timeout here from Daescu and Frazier. I mean, what's the answer here, Chad? Because it's all Johnson and Bar, and they are adding that pressure. Do you try and slow them down?
Yeah, I would say, hey, you know, let's take a step back from the kitchen line, look at resetting some of these speed ups, and instead of trying to battle hands. Because Daescu and Frazier had success when they were staying in the longer dink rallies, and then ball just floated a little bit, and Daescu reaching in. Right now, they're not even getting that. I think we've had maybe one dink rally this whole second game. So, you know, take a step back from the kitchen line, reset a couple of balls, get them down, weather the storm of the speed ups, and get back into that longer dink rally where you can set up something to reach in and attack rather than trying to counter attack constantly.
Yep. Well, let's see if that timeout works. Trying to slow that momentum down. Change up a game plan here, try and fix what's going wrong here, because it looked like Frazier and Daescu had all that momentum after game 1, but it is Johnson and Bar in game 2, 9-2 lead and the serve. Oh, no. No way. No way. Wow. Deco Bar with the tweener right before that drop shot from J.W. Johnson.
2-9-1.
Wow. Great hands and good side out for Daescu and Frazier. That serve sails long.
9-2.
That is a nice little inside out there, Chad. Put a little mojo on that.
Yeah, didn't go for too much power, but definitely added the spin and dropped that down more. And that's where Johnson's got to try to create some power coming off of that, which is difficult to do.
No.
Side out.
Again, just a little too open on Daescu for that counter attack off of Johnson's speed up.
Nice Ernie there from Andre Daescu as he jumps that sideline.
9-3-2. Point.
That big serve from Barr. No spin, it's all power, Chad.
Yeah, he's getting that from up high and inside the court and just accelerating through it.
And a game 2 victory handily for JW Johnson and Daescu Barr. 11-3. They answer the calling, and we are going to a third game here in the men's pro double winner bracket final. We'll take a quick commercial break. That third game coming up for you next here from the APP Chicago Open presented by Lexus. It all comes down to one game here. Game 1 going to Dylan Frazier and Andre Daescu, 11-7. Johnson and Barr answering back with an 11-3 victory in game number 2. Game 3 to decide it all here and see who's going on to Championship Sunday and who has to fight and battle out of that bronze medal match later on this afternoon.
Game 3. Change and the 6.
Dylan Frazier to serve.
0-0-2.
Yeah.
Big put away there from Daescu Barr. You all right, Chad?
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah. For Daescu putting that ball away, and then somebody took a ball in the throat in the stands.
Wow, Daescu finding the cross-court winner there, Chad.
Wow. I mean, the hands battles between these four are phenomenal.
0-0-2.
You see Daescu just sticking that paddle out in front. Little tiny movement with the wrist.
Just misses the sideline, does JW Johnson.
I mean, it's not the greatest speed up from JW, but one thing that he does is anytime he speeds a ball up, he's expecting it to come back regardless of the height of it. And he's looking there to attack again, unfortunately just missing wide.
0-0-2.
Great read from Dylan Frazier right there as he read the speed up from Johnson, but just unable to put it away.
Yeah, the paddle just got a little too laid back, brought it back trying to create some power that wasn't needed.
And good spot there from Daescu Barr finding that sideline.
Barr and Johnson are anticipating these speed ups now. Daescu and Frazier kind of caught them off guard a little bit in game 1.
Oh,
as I say, that change up.
Change up, he pulled the string on that one, did Daescu.
1-0-2.
Barr was expecting that a lot faster.
Smart by Daescu, recognizing Johnson's coming in fast,
0-1-1.
slowing it down. Definitely hard to put on the brakes and pick up that one.
Conserve.
Missing a little wide from Frazier, kicking it off the net.
0-1-2.
Deco Barr upset with himself on that one, to say the least.
1-2.
He just hesitated a fraction. It was a good ball to speed up. He got the ball he wanted coming back from Daescu.
That's a good adjustment from Frazier right there, Chad, as he did exactly what he did before, but he executed on that one.
Yeah, he didn't try to add more power to it. He just met the ball. Well, that's a big scream from the opposite court.
That was. Hope they're okay. Oh, Johnson almost gets that back up and over, but Daescu too big right there, and this is a nice little run for Frazier and Daescu. That he almost baited him into that right there.
He did. We saw the look on Frazier's face when he turned around. He's like, well, didn't mean for that one, but it worked.
It worked out. We'll change ends here at 6. Oh, and Johnson coming over, protecting Barr on the stack, but over hits that, and it's a 5-1 lead here for Frazier and Daescu. Will change 1 point away from changing ends on their terms here.
Yeah, Barr and Johnson have had a few balls now flying deep, coming on the end toward us. We got the wind in our face. So definitely adding just a little bit of sailing those balls. I think Johnson and Barr are going to finish this one on the preferred end with the wind going into the face.
Yeah, and I talked a little bit about that in last match with Michelle and what players prefer. All players prefer stuff different. Some players prefer the wind at their back or the wind in their face, depending on type of game they play. If they like having that little extra momentum behind them, or if they like being able to hit free into the wind.
Yeah, personally, I definitely like the wind into my face. I don't have to think so much,
right,
or slow my swing down to try and come off it a little bit or control it more.
Right. On Johnson, seeing right there, the wind was in their face right there, at their back,
yeah,
and that ball just kind of died off the paddle, and Johnson reaching in off the tape, and it's a 6-1 lead here for Frazier and Daescu, in control of this third game, Chad.
Yeah, it's a tough one, especially once the wind pushes that ball down. You're coming at a certain height, and yeah, my paddle's underneath it. Now all of a sudden it drops just enough that you're coming flat behind the ball. And that's what pushes it down into the net. Whereas here, and we definitely saw it game 1, and then again here in game 3, Daescu and Frazier reaching in on more balls that floated when the wind's behind Frazier and Johnson and Barr. So be interesting now with Daescu and Frazier returning with the wind in their back.
On Barr off the tape. Daescu with a great adjustment on that ball off the tape. Put that ball at the feet of Barr. They add to their lead. Oh, now it's the net twice in a row, the last 2 points in favor of Daescu and Frazier.
Yeah, that's a good ball from JW, and Barr just sticking his paddle in front of JW's forehand. going to sit.
Let's go.
You hear almost Frazier going to Daescu. I got it. Relax. We're good. Stay on your side. We're good. I'll reset this, and we'll get right back in here, and we'll take a 9-1 lead here in Game 3. Again, sitting
Third
up
ball.
off the tape. Unreal. Everything rolling for Daescu and Frazier here. I mean, just the tale of two totally different games. It's a match point for Frazier and Daescu. Oh, nice finish there from J.W. Johnson, and they fight off one match point.
1-10-1.
Good ball from Daescu. Aggressive down to the feet of Barr, just trying to scoop it out.
Oh, what hands from Daescu. Both that ball from Dekel Barr and J.W. Johnson barely clearing the net.
10-1-1.
And it's match point number 2 for Frazier and Daescu. Wow, and that ball pulling Dekel Barr to the sidelines. And Game 3 handily, Chad, to Dylan Frazier and Andre Daescu. They are moving on to the gold medal match on Championship Sunday tomorrow afternoon. Thoughts on this match?
No,
Chad?
I mean, that was impressive. We saw Frazier yesterday in mixed coming through, making his way to Championship Sunday. He's playing consistent. He had a couple of bumps in there with some missed returns, but Daescu and Frazier playing much cleaner pickleball, anticipating, reading, and yeah, I mean, not much else to say, but that was impressive right there in Game 3.
Yeah, well, J.W. Johnson, if he's got a shot at that Triple Crown, he's got some work to do in that bronze medal match coming up shortly. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll talk with Frazier and Daescu, their thoughts about making it to tomorrow's Championship Sunday. Don't go anywhere. We're here at the APP Chicago Open, presented by Lexus.